Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the August 15th, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. This is Luke, the Big Dog Williams. I am Caleb Black, our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury over yonder. And it is time for This Week in Wrestling Part 1, which means inevitably we get to talk about Monday Night Raw. It's so good. It's so good. It's bad. We open the show immediately with Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, and Dominic Guerrero. That's right, I said it. Dominic Guerrero. I'm not letting it back. Dominic has officially signed a WWE contract, making him a real WWE superstar.
As if he wasn't beforehand.
The commentary team is working overtime on this segment. The crowd noise being pumped through was so hokey. It kept taking me out. The whole thing was just bad. I gave it a 1.
I gave it a 3, and I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why.
I gave it a 3 just because of the forwarding of the story. Kind of wraps it up nice and neat. Although at the time I gave the score, I was under the impression that SummerSlam was this week. So I didn't know that they had another week of content that they had to do. So
well, they don't have a week's worth of content now.
Well, that's probably good.
Well, not good content. Not nearly as good as our content.
No.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Like, subscribe, share.
Anyway.
With your friends. So that's what friends are for.
That's right. I don't have any, but once I get them, that's exactly what I'll do.
I'll let them know when you get them.
I gave it a 1. Again, it's just it's the crowd noise, which leads us right into Seth Rollins and Carrillo. Same problem. Their match, they opened well. They had good intensity, but the crowd noise, I wrote several times, crowd noise sucks. Crowd noise is taking me out of the match. It did not flow. And then obviously Dominic gets in the ring.
What kind of crowd noise do you pump through anyway? The crowd when they were live booed.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff.
It did not sound good, and it's so hokey. Then we lead. I gave the match and everything involved with it a 1. Then we lead right into Dominic. You know, Dominic comes in and gets the shit kicked out of him with the kendo sticks. But here's the problem: Seth Rollins would hit him with the kendo stick and then walk away and talk and Dominic, you made me do this. Dominic, whack. Murphy, you see what he made me do? Whack, 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 whack. Murphy, hold my dick. Whack, 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 whack. And it took forever to get there, so that one also gets a 1.
See, I gave that one a 2 only because it does show that Dominic is not afraid to get in there and get dirty.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, you hit Randy Orton with a backdrop that went just a little too high, and he's going to cry to everybody. Ask Ken Anderson. This kid, to public knowledge, has never taken a bump.
Right.
I mean, he wrestled a match with his dad against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it proves that his mental and his toughness...
Yeah, it proves that he's tough. It just, like I said, it took forever to get there. It was hokey.
I thought that SummerSlam was coming up, and that's what they were going to do. If I was going to
go into SummerSlam, it might have been received a little bit better, but it wasn't.
Right.
We still got a week to go.
Hence why I gave it a 2.
Yeah.
That wasn't Randy Orton's fault. He doesn't do anything wrong. It's perfect.
You're goddamn right he is. Come back from a commercial right into a recap of Retribution. They do more of the hokey technical difficulties with the lights flickering off and on. Stupid.
We could do that.
Recap of their destroying SmackDown last week. That didn't get a rating because it was just a recap. Andrade, Garza, and Selena come to the ring. Zelina claims she didn't poison Montez Ford. Then Angelo Dawkins appears and has a match with Andrade. More stupid, hokey technical difficulties. The match was fine. Nothing to write home about. 2 out of 5. Angelo Dawkins goes over.
I also gave it a 2 out of 5. I'm over the whole gimmick, and it hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. The next match, though, I want to talk about Bianca Belair and Zelina Vega. Bianca Belair really impressed me. Like, I've always been high on Bianca's work. I've always been one of her fans, but this match, she hit every cue right. She talked just the right amount of shit.
And not only that, Zelina makes the perfect foil.
Yeah.
She can bump. She gets natural heat.
Yeah.
She really does.
Yeah, agreed.
And, I mean, she's a class act. I mean, them two working together, they work perfectly together. I gave that segment, the match, a 3.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 as well. Right out of the match, the VIP lounge with MVP. MVP's so good on the mic.
He really is.
Like, I could listen to him talk and cut promos because of the way he delivers it, because of what he says. I'm actually engaged to what he's talking about. basically, Cruz comes out. He tells him he's disappointed. Cruz didn't go far enough. Blah, blah, blah. We go into the U.S. title match. I gave the actual VIP lounge segment a 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 2. On the high side.
Yeah. Then we come back from commercial break, and it's Shelton Benjamin versus Apollo Crews. Again, we've seen this match a couple times already. I'm a big fan of just watching these guys wrestle.
I would watch Sheldon wrestle empty water ball.
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin could wrestle a broomstick.
You know,
and it would still be entertaining.
I think that now he's finally getting his just due.
Yeah.
To where they should have pushed him like this when he come to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And he's just floundered on SmackDown.
Yeah. In this faction, in this setting, I hope we see enough of Shelton Benjamin that he really does take that top guy place that he should have had 15 fucking years ago.
He should have and got buried.
Yeah.
But I gave it a 2.5. I was high on it.
I gave it a 3. Come back to another Retribution segment. Here's what I didn't like about it. I didn't rate it, first of all, but Retribution, they throw the brick through the window, and then they all just start cheering.
Yeah.
Like cheerleading Antifa. That's what it looked like.
It's like, let me put the cigarette butt out.
Yeah, it was just did nothing to further them. They didn't do anything. They threw a brick through a window and just jerked each other off.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it just not whatever. I didn't even rate it. The Viking Raiders, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander wrestled Tozawa and some ninjas, and I wrote, "This is fucking stupid, and I hate the concept." The match was over before it began.
Everything but the big black ninja, I was a fan of him.
Viking Raiders, Cedric Alexander, Ricochet win. I gave that a 1.
2.5.
So, a 2.5.
Yeah, only for the fact I finally got to watch Ricochet and Cedric Alexander do something.
And R-Truth did recapture for the 38th time the 24/7 I-95 Winston Churchill special.
Once again, he was the 2 out of the 2.5. So.
24/7 championship. Drew has a little quick promo. Didn't rate that. He basically talks about Orton. Liv Morgan and Peyton Royce put on a good match.
Yes.
I've said it before on the program here. I love Peyton Royce. I can't wait until they break up. The Iconics both did well. They didn't come out. Their promo they cut before wasn't iconic. The hokiness shit they do that was like they were down, they were grounded, they worked in tandem well, and they paired well with Ruby and Liv. I gave the match a 3.
Actually, I gave the match a 3.5. I was very impressed on both sides of the coin.
Peyton Royce just gets better, and I'm obviously, now that Liv Morgan isn't doing the lost puppy dog routine, I'm a lot more over on her work.
It's because they gave that gimmick to somebody else. Stay tuned.
Yeah. We go into Asuka versus Bayley. Another great, good women's match. Asuka setting up to be the #1 contender for the Raw Women's title, which she did win.
Yes.
I gave that a 3.
Again, 3. You got what you figured you were going to get. Solid, straight-up wrestling match between the two. Yeah, I gave it a 3 as well.
Raw Underground gets a 4. Shayna Baszler looked like a beast.
I give it a 3.
Babatunde looked like a beast. I don't know. What do they?
I have no idea.
What do they call him?
Baba Ganesh.
Babakunde. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. Clinic. 2 professionals having a professional wrestling match that wasn't super spotty, wasn't super flashy. The trade-off with the first opener where Kevin goes for the stunner, Orton fucks him off, Orton goes for the RKO, fucks him off, and then they come back to the well for the finish. Owens going for the stunner, getting whipped into the RKO. Solid, fluid. I gave it a 3.5.
I gave it a 2. Reason I gave it a 2 is because, again, we talked about this watching, studying for this episode this week. Predictability.
That's fair.
Shock me.
Yeah.
Give me something that I don't see coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Dabakota.
That's his name.
Yes.
Dabakota. And then Randy Orton and Ric Flair have a great emotional promo. Flair talks about how proud he is of Randy, how he just wants him to succeed, that he wants him to beat his record. He even goes as far to mention that, like, he doesn't want John Cena to beat his record.
Right.
Like, he wants it to be Randy Orton. They hug, and this is one of the moments where they do the hokey special effects lighting stuff where it worked.
Yeah.
Because Orton, feeds him the punt, but we don't see it, so Flair doesn't have to hurt himself doing it. But the implication's there.
Right.
It's done well. Orton, again, cements himself as the top heel by taking out Rick. I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 2.
Really?
Predictability.
Yeah.
Again.
But I mean,
you knew in the beginning that eventually, with him being quote-unquote the legend killer again, Flair was on the list from the beginning.
Yeah, but there is something to be said, too, about those predictable moments, that at least when you predict them, if they're done the right way and they're done in the right character and they're doing it true to form for who they are, that it's still pretty good.
It's too soon. They did it too soon.
They should have done it next week.
They should have got the ride out of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Afterwards, when Orton could complain, now that I've done this, I don't need you.
Maybe the writers also think SummerSlam's next week, because this did feel like a SummerSlam go-home show.
It felt like
right?
a go-home show.
Yeah.
It really did.
Overall, I gave
Maximus?
that one a 5. Max, what was my overall rating of Raw this week?
Overall, you gave it a 2 out of 5.
Wow.
You have started the show?
Randy Orton. Randy Orton all day.
Of course.
Why? What? He's the apex predator, baby.
Trips and
Blood, Tom Daddy.
trips and shits himself.
Luke gave it a 2.5 out of 5, and he also said Randy Orton before he started.
No, I did not.
That's what he's reading on the paper.
No, I did not.
That's what's down here.
Belair.
That's what
Bianca
I wrote down.
Belair. Here's your star.
You write down your own shit. You leave mine alone. No, Bianca Belair is star of the show.
Yeah, she had a hell of a showing. That's a really great argument to make. Guys, that's going to wrap us up for this Raw review. What did you think about Monday Night Raw? What did you think about the review? What do you think about Randy Orton, Bianca Belair, Apollo Crews? Let us know.
Giant Ninjas.
Let us know in the comments down below after you like and subscribe. Send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestlingthrowdown. And stay tuned because SmackDown review is coming your way.